Welcome back to my Rome 2 Total War Octavian campaign gameplay. I am Lews Therin, and this is part 14 now, 14 of this here campaign. This here campaign, I'm like turning southern. Alright, so let's see. Actually, unlike most times, I actually ended the turn last game, so we're actually going to start it right now. We're currently, managing the issue of Antony's, I keep forgetting to pronounce it properly, eternal fucking army over here, not an army of agents over here, and we're trying to figure out what's going to happen over here with Pontus, because we're technically at peace with them, and I want to just rush in and just defeat Antony, and be done, but it's becoming a bit concerning because there's like no real way of doing that without abandoning that area to Pontus and their eventual attack. Now, I know what you might say. Who gives a fuck if Pontus attacks? Really, the point is to take Antony and build up enough resources to build a navy to be able to claim victory. However, I just really am concerned about that. So we're going to look into that. So first of all, I'm moving the army that was here up north. Remember the army that I stranded because I thought there would be a rebellion? Moving it to Akatim. But actually, we're going to move it even further to Zemmer, whatever the hell this shit is. So that it's basically just closer. Because we want to worry about that eventually. Now, we have some money. And because of that, I want to get some money dumped into some of these places. My bad. I'm sorry. Now, over here, we're really just repairing some of the damage made by our former enemies, Pontus. Well, not so former. They're still our enemies, really, but our enemies, Pontus. And we want them to stop hating. We want our people to stop hating us because of the horrible attacks that we had on us. So I'm just checking over to see if there's anything specific we need to deal with, and there doesn't seem to be. Now what we're going to do also is we're going to move one of the agents over to Tigran or whatever the fuck this shit is. And they're basically just going to keep an eye on Armenia and make sure that Armenia doesn't start fucking doing random evil shit with us. Now, I'm also noticing that the army here in Dura is actually quite weak. So we're going to work on that first. We're going to create a cavalry. And maybe, what else can we do? We got some spears. We don't have many swords, so let's include some legionaries. And that's really all we can do because we're pretty much done there. So we're going to get rid of some of these mercenaries here that we have. Kind of Romanize the army a bit. We're not going to get rid of all the mercenaries because pretty much every army I have has some level of mercenary, but they're mostly because you get a bit concerned and you get a bit worried and you really just need those mercenaries in there to make sure that you have a quick and easy group of people to help you out. So yeah. Now, let's see. Is there any way for us to cross the desert into Egypt's area without killing half the army? No, there isn't. So we're just going to have to hope that Blemmies here doesn't fuck it up and hurt Egypt further. Because, remember, the goal is to attack Antony through Egypt. He's over here. Now, who is assaulting Alexandria right now? I think it's Blemmies or whatever the fuck they're called. And they probably are going to take Alexandria. I don't see why they wouldn't. But we'll see what happens. Is there anything else we need to do? Over here. Yes, the Anasia army. So we're still concerned about their overall morale. So as much as I want to leave, I don't see how we can. Unless we go to another area that's technically Bithynia at Pontus. So can we go to Somasoda? No, we can't. Can we go to Trapezus? At least Trapezus. Again, the idea is to move closer to the enemy. So let's move to Trapezus. That'll do. Alright. What? Oh my goodness. Alright. Who the hell needs a skill? Septimus, whatever the hell his name is. I'm pretty sure he is a veteran. Who will eventually die. Like, I don't understand how this veteran isn't dead yet. Well, then again, time passes by differently in this campaign than the last. The last we've had not hundreds, but, decades go by. And in this one, we don't. Antony's Rome always goes by Jerusalem, thinks about it, and then leaves. It's always the same shit with him. The other thing is his agents keep trying to fuck up Edessa or something. I don't know what the hell his obsession is with that city. But, frankly, it's ridiculous. Now, it wouldn't be a fucking total war thing without one of our allies asking us to join yet another war. So let's see if if one of the allies actually comes at us. No, none of them seem to care. There's Pontus making some random moves, but there's really nothing we have to be concerned about necessarily, except for now, this group of people, the Quintus, I think they're called, they cross into our territory, so I am concerned about that. Let's look into what that is. I'm pretty sure, I hope actually, that's all that, that sound meant. When you have the sound that means that there's something bad every turn that it starts with. I mean, you must have noticed by now. It just made the sound right now, so I hope that there's nothing major going on, but we'll see. We really will have to tell in time. Alright, now the game's getting a bit too slow. Oh, okay, there you go. Sabotage. Alright, that's fine. Who cares? Enemy army retreats, rather. Where are their slums? Shit. Fuck, man. I thought I had dealt with that. Actually, when you really sit down and think about it, I didn't really deal with it. I just thought I did. Well, I did say I thought I did. Alright. Let's see. Where are they unhappy? Armenia? Really, no shit. Why are they unhappy now? Maybe because they're not like everybody else. They don't like that. It's also the cultural influence, man. Like, it must be hard being that way. But whatever, we're gonna have to leave them alone. We really don't have time to worry about that kind of bullshit. Now, how's this army feeling in general? It's doing quite better. So we're not gonna have to worry about that for too long. Here's the army that is annoying me, though. These Guardians of the Desert. They just chill near our areas and do nothing else. And now there's 2 armies. These are the Merchants of Death. Moving towards Palmyra. Huh. Now, if I had more money, I might actually build an army for this explicit purpose of protecting those lands. I'm thinking about trespassing. Because I'm getting sick and tired of just having this army stranded. Yeah, whatever. Let them fight me if they have a problem with it. We're going to use this to jump to ammonium. No. The fuck are you doing? Never declare war on the Egyptians. No, we're gonna go here. So we're gonna cross the desert, get over here, get through ammonium without causing a major fucking political problem. And then we're gonna march on Antony, even though the Egyptians are already marching on Antony. So if they take it, that's great, but if they don't, we're gonna have to deal with it ourselves. Oh, here's trespassing. That's what I was talking about earlier. Oh no, that's our trespassing. I was wrong. Now, are you guys moving where I told you to move? I think you are. Again, to semi whatever the hell. And now I'm really thinking about moving one of these armies down. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to move one of these armies down. The populace is generally happy. There's really no reason for us not to do it. So next turn, we're going to move the armies down, and we'll actually build a navy over here to continue with our thing about, building the naval units as we should. Because God forbid we defeat Antony's Rome, and then we don't have the naval units, and then I'm like, fuck. Gotta deal with that now, and then we do that. We also need to start investing in some businesses and shit, because, we have money, it's just that we're wasting it every other fucking moment. Mostly on upgrades, so I guess it's fine, but there's a lot of expenses going on when building the empire and maintaining the empire and that sort of thing, so we need to increase our coffers and shit. Oh, there he is. There's Numidia asking us for a pointless war that they can't win. Pontus declared war on us. Alright. Alright, Pontus. I mean, we'll fight you again. Who gives a shit? You're pussies. There's the Kedri or whatever. They're preparing themselves for us for sure. Alright, so Pontus declared war on us, which is fine. They betrayed us pretty much because I'm pretty sure they still had to wait a little while longer. But it's their loss. They fucking paid 8,000 gold to stay at peace with us. Ooh, now I'm concerned. Ooh, no, this isn't good. Let's hope this is not what I think it is, because that would make it the 3rd time in this series that we have Oh, okay, good. Whew. Whew. I was thinking that we had another crash. And that would have been catastrophic, let me tell you. So, because Pontus decided that they were going to have war with us, we're going to move in. We're going to move in from two sides, though. Now, is this a general? Yes, this is a general over here, the stone cutters. We're going to move from Trapezes over this way. No, does Pontus own that too? Yeah, they do. So we're going to have to figure out what we do from there. We're actually going to build some ships. So let's raise a fleet. Let's reinstate the legacy of a fleet. The class is 4. There. We are building a magnificent fleet over there, which will be very good for us eventually. There. Done. In the meantime, let's worry about other things. Over on this side, we have a pretty capable and complete army. We also have one for Octavian. We're going to have Octavian's army march over to Hatra once again. Now, I'm pretty sure we had an agent over here. She's going to move back to Sistifion, or whatever the fuck this shit's called, to basically let us know what the fuck is going on in that area, make sure that nothing shady is happening. Speaking of shady, we're going to move this spy over here, so we can start figuring out what Pontus is up to. Because we know that they're shady and they're doing something with us, but we don't know what exactly. Now, I know that we made this army go to Samategusa, whatever the fuck this shit's called. We're going to take it all the way to Albia, because that might be useful for us later on in life. And then over here, this army is going to Egypt. And again, its entire job is to go to Egypt. And eventually... Oh! Antony was destroyed. Huh. Well, that's new. Let's actually analyze this. This is interesting. Antony no longer owns this. So really, he only owns these 4 regions. So theoretically, if we just converge there, we should be able to win and be done with this. Not that I want to be done, but I want to be done. You know what I mean? Like, we need the civil war to be over for Rome to be the empire it truly is. Alright. Alright. I don't want to spend money right now, but I am going to buy a couple of things. So let's make sure that we don't get any fucking ghettos. I keep calling them ghettos when really it's slums, but you know what I mean. I think we're good. Let's move on. Antony will keep attacking Jerusalem and not attacking Jerusalem. And here's the thing, if that army stays there as I almost take over everything else, that'll be whatever's left of his Rome. And we'll eventually have to take it. Like, meet them outside the city and attack them, because otherwise we'll be here in perpetuity. So, we're gonna see about that. What are the Mori up to over there? Yeah, whatever. Okay, this is the good one. Pontus. What is Pontus gonna do? Nothing. And the Kidri are just moving their agents as opposed to weaken the army in light of, you know, an eventual invasion. Let's see what happens here, because Quintus annoys me and they concern me in the same way Armenia do. What the fuck? I checked for slums. Alright, whatever. Defeat a fleet belonging to the Blemba. You see, I don't want to fight them yet. Alright, where else did I see slums? Iconium, which is here. Okay. Are we done? Good. Let's march to Phasis. Take the city once and for all. I'm pretty sure this is the capital. And it's ours. very quickly, very easily actually, which is good. Alright, get the fuck out of here, fastest. Now you're ours. Now is there anything from here that we need? Yeah, we need to upgrade everything. Redo the entire fucking city. We don't want a military war, because that's useless to us. And then let's look into some more upgrades. We've done enough of these. Philosophy upgrades. Legal documentation. It's not bad, but honestly, we're at a point in this game where it doesn't matter. What is this? Charge unit, melee attacks. Yeah, but we don't actually fight that much in the field. And it's not because I don't want to, it's because there's no need. Alright. Let's do legal documentation. Be a bit more pragmatic in this scenario here. Because while I would love to increase our culture and our earnings from said culture, frankly right now it's not that important. You know, I think I've watched Avengers one too many times. And by one too many times I mean I think I watched Age of Ultron once and Avengers 1 maybe twice. But I swore that this shit said Sokovia instead of Solakva or Solaka or whatever the fuck this shit is. So there's that. Now that other army I think is programmed to go to Albia, so I don't have to worry about its movement. And let's see, Octavian here can take Therin or whatever the fuck this shit is. There we go. Rather easily. And there's an army right over there waiting for us. I'm glad you told me, agent. So we're going to spend some money from the agent and try to slow it down a bit so that Octavian can recover. Let's do some sabotage. Provisions? Sure. Successful. Good. Yeah, whatever. The army. Can the army get more units? It can. Now the issue is, I wanted to hire more Romans. That was my thing. Alright, we have the maximum number of units, which is good. And then, again, these armies that they have over here just at our borders. It sounds to me, it looks to me, like they're getting ready for an invasion. And I'm not happy about it at all. Now, how many naval units do we have? Just making sure. 25. I just don't want to achieve the maximum and then win by accident. It'd be funny, like, oh, I don't want to win by accident. But what I mean by that is I just don't want to fuck it up yet. So let's go over to Egypt here. We're going to have to pass by Memphis no matter what. And we're going to have to do that quietly and safely over here. Trying to get back to Jerusalem also. We're going to put our fleets near Jerusalem. And actually I want to recruit some units. Back to the whole, like, I might as well just increase the naval units now kind of idea. Now let's increase the spies thing, because the spy helped us out. And then we'll increase the legion that just won the battles traditions. There we go. What else could happen? What else? What else? Antony's Rome, once again, almost attacking Jerusalem, but not really because they're pussies. And let me guess, one of the agents is going to corral one of my cities for no good reason. Is that the other thing he's going to do? Oh no, yeah, there he is, corralling the city. I think one of his agents actually assaulted Dura. No, no more wars. Or at least not an unnecessary one. It's like, why do you care? No, I definitely don't want a war with Armenia. They're completely fine as they are. Alright. The Nasamones have attacked Egypt. Technically, we have to declare war on the Nasamones. Now, what is Pontus gonna do with their fucking shitty ass excuse for an army? Iberia, I don't know what the hell they're doing either. The thing is, they're such a long way from Spain. Like, what the fuck do they hope to achieve? Alright, whatever. Yeah, there he is trying to fuck up Dura once again, but who cares? So, I see that Octavian's army is pretty much safe. And we can pretty much leave Sestifion without even worrying about our lives. And we're going to. As a matter of fact, if we can fight that battle, we will. But we can't. So we're going to wait it out. I would normally move these guys to reinforce, but again, can't do that. Let's see, do we have an army nearby that we can use? Yes, we do. We have this one that we would use to fight African rebels. Alright, I suppose that's the new war we have going on. See, here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about these people in Aguila. Like, let me be frank. Who took this? No, this is Egypt, right? Oh, they already won. So that war was useless. No, wait, no. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to... Okay, here it is. Nemones. That's the one I'm talking about, actually. I don't give a fuck about you. Leave me alone. Like, let's be honest with you. And I shouldn't have gone and engaged those African rebels. The idea is to cross Memphis with this army, not continue the nonsense. But what I'm noticing also is we have plenty of money for another army. And we're going to have one. I've decided. It's time for an army. And a damn good one. So, let's raise some forces. An Octavian army, of course. And let's reinstate a legacy, even. We get Evocati. Legatus, Evocati cohort. These are cheaper. Let's take cheaper. Alright. Two of those. Some of these. Alright, there. That's a small little garrison that we can use later on. Over here, this army should be able to take Panticipaeum in one blow. Because once again, the AI didn't seem to believe in reinforcing their cities. So, we're just going to march on forward. Yeah, whatever. Can we... Oh god. Dismantle all of this shit. We're going to spend most of the next turn's money on this shit, but whatever. Now, we can pretty much leave Salakia here without worrying about them exploding into some sort of civil war. We can't say the same about Phasis here. We're building a temple, basically, to make them more Roman. So, that war really has taken a lot of our units and really divided up our resources. And with this army stranded, I'm glad we're building a new army over here in Palmyra that we can either keep to provide us protection from Arabia Magna and its owner, the Qadiri, or we could eventually send it over to take Antony and his people. Whichever way actually does work, it's not a big deal. Alright, let's move on. Next turn. Who cares? It always wants me to upgrade these generals, and like, I get it, it's a good idea, but it's like, who gives a fuck? Like, they're very small buffs that in the current campaign don't matter. Not that they don't matter in general, it's just that right this second, what I'm doing right now, I don't care. I'd rather see what happens. I'm not even going to comment on that fact anymore. So, let's see. What else could he do, though? Like, really, does he have a major army other than the one that I'm about to crush with Gaius? The one he just went around? He went around the army. I mean, it's not like it's a big deal. We'll just take it back over, but... Ooh. Right, I guess we'll enter the war on the side of the ally. Somebody attacked Gaul, and now we have to defend them. Well, quote unquote. We're gonna do the same thing we did with Egypt, where we're gonna sue for peace for those people because we really don't have any issue with them at this time. I don't care enough about them. Now Pontus put some ships on their territory and started marching. I hope that it is to stay in those areas, and I hope that geographically it's not like in any area that could be a problem for us. But we have to see. I honestly don't know. Alright, let's see what happens here. Sabotage, again from the Duras, again in Dura. Military sabotage for guys Octavius, which isn't good. Now, over here, before we move on anywhere else, I want to know what was going on the coast of Pontus. So nothing was on our coast, it was on his coast. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it seems to have all been on his coast. I remember taking Caesar on this exact same location. Now, can I just do this? Yeah. We can't move out of Participatum yet, because they're still kind of pissy about the fact that we wrecked them. But we'll be able to do so in a bit. It won't be a big deal. Let's see. How is that fleet going? Yes, this new fleet over here. Let's move it over here to Phanagoria, or whatever the fuck this shit's called. That's going to be our newest movement. Not our only movement by any means, but our newest one. So let's see. See, there he is fucking trying to come at us this way. Which I understand, but I'm not into it. So let's do some military sabotage once again. Poison the provisions once again. Can we increase the army size? No, we can't. Alright, the military sabotage failed. And here, Sistiphon, or whatever the fuck this shit's called, is very exposed, and I'm not happy about it. So, at the expense of Dura, we're gonna move our army over. But we're gonna keep building this one over here. Ooh, Praetorian Guard. Let's see. This army is going to be fucking fantastic, by the way. The army I'm building in Palmyra, I can't wait to use it. But, let's see. Is there anything else that has to be done? Yeah, this fucking army. The one that I just stranded here. We're going to use it. Fuck it. Take down the fucking African rebels. Because it's stranded. Like, I really can't figure out what to do with this army once I'm done with it. Yeah, there we go. We just killed the African rebels. Congratulations, people. Who cares? I should have enslaved them. And now we're going to go back to Ammonium. And then the idea is we're going to use it. We're going to hope to march it through Alexandria, I guess, for some fucking... or something. And then get to Jerusalem. How we're going to do that is beyond me right now. But we're going to do it somehow. We're gonna put this shit in the Nile. Why not? Is this the Nile? I don't think this... Yeah, it is the Nile. We're gonna put this fucking set of ships in the Nile for no good reason. See what happens. And then... Let's see. Are these guys already where they're supposed to be? Yeah, we're gonna move them up. We're actually gonna try to move them all the way over here. So in a few turns they should join us back into the war. And then again, Octavian, as much as I want to move him forward, needs to move this way. And this army that I just moved to Haltra is going to Stephaphon, or whatever the fuck this shit is, to help with the activity against Antony. Because at this point he only has these 4 areas, and that's it, and then we're done, and then Antony is done, and I can fucking worry about everything else in this world but him. And by this world I don't mean the campaign, because once to me the campaign is over once Antony's over. Last time I ended the series, technically I paused it and ended it when I got the military victory, but to be honest with you, later on I kept playing and I forgot to record. So I kept playing and I conquered the entire world. But here I'm more interested in Antony because this campaign is the Civil War. If we were playing a normal Rome campaign, I wouldn't stop till the war, till the world was over and shit. But okay, so we have a lot of defenses, but we really can't fucking fight this in the battlefield. Let's take defeat, but hurt them, and then we'll take the city back once the army from the top takes it. So it'll be fine. My point is, we'll be fine. It's a close defeat. Now, Antony still, even though he got his close defeat, doesn't have the balls to attack us in Jerusalem. So, that's that. Oh man, can we just be done with you, Antony? Like, you annoy me. It's not that the rest of the game is a bother. It's just you, your personality, your way of doing things. All you do is send me these fucking piece of shit agents. There he is again with his bullshit. I mean, we're still going to be able to crush him, because there'll be 2 armies fighting him, not just 1. Oh, yeah, I forgot about these guys, the Gatonas, or whatever the fuck they're called. We were supposed to make peace with them, and I forgot about them. So let's make peace with them soon, because I don't want to pick a fight with people I don't have to. Let's see what Pontus does, though. Oh, they're going to meet us at sea. That's so cute. We're the fucking piece of shit fleet. That's so cute. What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? No, now I'm going to chase you. See, here's the thing. Before I was like, whatever about it. Now I'm chasing you. The Kidri, though, moving out of the area. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that grand army I'm building. Or maybe they just decided they're moving out of the area. But for whatever reason, we're good. Let's see what happens, though. Gaul, can you just be done? I was already excited to see the next turn. Alright. Increase in rank. Da-da-da. Yeah. Yeah, we have... Oh, fucking A. Again with the slums? Shit. There we go. Alright. Alright. How long till this army's done? 1 turn? Okay. Now over here, this army. Can it move? Can't move. Can Octavians move? Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's the Kidri. Here's the problem. It would take forever for Octavian to get there. It's better for him to just stay and do his thing. Now this army's entire job is to take over this area right here. What is it, under siege? What the fuck is this? I don't know what the fuck is going on over there, but who cares? We have a trespasser over here, though. The Kidri are once again trespassing our lands. Over on this side? No, I think they came. They left. I don't think they did that. Sent to pool. All right. Let's move. We have some more stuff to do, though. We lost that settlement, but that's okay because, you know, whatever. It was my decision to ignore him. So I don't feel like it was a personal loss. Now let's take Tanais or Tanais or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Easily. And I want to see if we can just cross the sea into Phanagoria. Because if we could do that, that would be fantastic. Yeah, the army won't fucking leave the city. Alright. Let's use this navy. Attack theirs. Easily, rather. Oh, I was wrong. Not so easily. Can we get ourselves here? I was right. So we're going to use this army and invade Phanagoria next turn. Now if they attack us, we'll be in trouble, but otherwise we should be fine. like a mercenary band here. And then we should upgrade some technology, actually. Let's see what we can do here. Let's do this one. No, wait, who gives a shit about tactics? Let's be honest with ourselves. Nobody. Will from all commerce. Yeah, let's do denomination system. That might be a better one. And then let's do some investments in Latium. Let's do better shops. Ooh, that was a lot of investing. Too much investing, in my opinion. Let's actually increase the irrigation. Wait, no. 80 versus 150. Yeah, no, fuck that. 150. Alright, we're done. Let's see. We're moving towards Saloka again. This is a reinforcing army that we had all the way in the middle of Europe. And I forgot to sue for peace again with those people. You know, it's shit like this that you forget about. And then the real question is, how long are we going to be able to hang out with that army outside of the city? See, with him constantly affecting my armies like that, it's going to make moving very difficult. So what I might end up doing, and this is just an option, is I might just move that army back into the city, let it replenish, and hopefully it'll have enough of a momentum for it to move close enough to attack. Is that going to work? Who knows? But, you know, it's an option at this point. Also, we need to move the army that I was building by Palmyra into Palmyra. Now the Mori are moving. Let's see, Ariminum. They're moving close. They're just not doing anything. All right, here we are. So without the city to help them, they're pretty much gonna lose. So we're good. Yeah. So without the city, they're done. And I see that they're moving their armies back. Basically, they're going to strategically abandon certain cities and allow themselves to prepare for an eventual invasion over on the other side. I see Iberia is finally making its way to the battlefield. So let's hope that they, you know, attack some people, take some lands, do some shit. I don't care. They can fucking take half the lands for all I care. Yeah, more fucking bullshit. Let's do trade just in general. Thriving trade or agrarian? Yeah, let's do trade. So we're moving trade up as much as possible, and then we're gonna move this army over here. Let's see, 10A still hates us. Let's do a theater. Let's change the grain, and we'll leave the rest for later. Actually, no, let's take him. Yeah, let's just take the city. So Phanagori is now ours. Alright, and then we can move this army actually. So their new goal will be to move this way. While the army in 10 will move that way. So we'll see what we do after that actually. This army in Phasis actually could move. I don't think that there would be any problem if we did. Yeah, there won't be any major problem anyway. Let's do a Shrine of Jupiter though, just to be safe. Yeah, so now our armies are fully encroached in their territories, which is good. Oh shit. Oh shit, I made a mistake. I need to go back to Phasis immediately. Because they have this area here, the Mesquita. Or Mesquita, whatever the fuck this shit's called. The point is, it's concerning. Now let's keep moving. Oh shit, there's a fucking city here. Let's take it. Oops, we can't take it. Let's retreat. I don't know why I tried to take it if I was so weakened. You can't hire any more mercenaries. We could if we got rid of some of the Roman units, but frankly, we're in serious trouble in the sense of like this army hasn't replenished, and it won't replenish fast enough for us really. So we're gonna have to hope. Hope that this shit works out. Alright. we're gonna have to do our best to move back into Hatra, because these motherfuckers are gonna keep attacking us and fucking our army up when we really don't need it. Now, this grand army I've been building is going to Dura. And then, what else we got here? We got this army over here that just hasn't been used in forever. So we're going to try to move it around the army of Nabatea. Yep, so it moved. That's good. And then, we're going to hope, we're going to hope this shit works out. Let's move the agent over to Mesquite. I don't know how the fuck we're going to do it. I don't care how we're going to do it. I just want to be able to see the area. Okay, good. There's nobody there. So even though it was a mistake to move that way, it's not going to be costly because he doesn't have any army nearby and it won't be fast enough for him to move nearby. So that's actually fantastic for us. Let's see. I was thinking it would take us 2 or 3 episodes to win against Antony. Clearly it's going to take a little bit longer. And that tends to happen really when I, make these bold claims, these bold statements. But we are making very good progress. Now, seeing this map, I just remember that we need to sue for peace with the Gutones. They're weak, but we have no issue with them. Now, they don't want peace. So now I'm getting annoyed at them. Where the hell are they located? Over there? Okay. Let's make a new movement. Do I have any armies in that area? No, I don't. So let's think about building a new army. Over here. Can we build armies? No, it sucks. It's a bad place for armies. Build one here? Sort of. Let's think about building an army somewhere. Here. Nope. Nope. Well, at some point we're going to build an army. That's the point. We're going to build an army, and that army will be so powerful that we'll take over those fucking idiots over there on that side and just end them, because I don't like their fucking arrogance. They're useless, and yet they keep trying to fight us. Alright. One more turn, and then I'll probably cut it right here, and then we'll move on to the next episode, because I've been recording the last 5 or 6 episodes in succession. Alright. Let's see, Antony's Rome. What are you gonna do? What you gonna do? Come on. Still with his fucking subversion nonsense, but at least it's not on the army that I had in Hatra. So that's good. Armenia isn't really bothering anybody once again, which is good. The Blemis, they're doing their thing. Like, who cares? Let's see if one of these motherfuckers asks us to get into war. What is Pontus gonna do? Because they're losing. Seriously. Oh, they did put armies near Mesquite. See, I think they saw what opportunity they had, and they decided they were going to take it. But it's too slow. Like, by the time they get their reinforcements over to that area, we should be fine. Let's see what happens here. Subversion, once again, of course. Yeah, whatever. I don't care about the mission. Alright, let's see over here in... Nope, wrong zone. Here. In Hatra, we're going to take our people... Well... See, we could... No, we're going to Hatra. I was going to say we could do something else, but he's been building an army over here. I'm not into it. Not into any bit of it. So we're going to move this army also outside of Hatra. And then... Seeing as how he abandoned that city, we're going to go take it. Yeah, we're definitely going to go take it, because why not? It would be an easy win for us. So let's do that next. So next turn we should be able to take Sistafon, or whatever the fuck this shit's called. Then let's see, over here, I'm pretty sure I move the army, like automatically, but I want to be sure. So Phasis now back under our full control. This army over here is going to make a bend this way. And then this army over here is going to get ready to reinforce, because we're going to abandon Tanais and move this way over here to Saracina. Because the goal is to take that shit from Pontus. Well, these people will keep the peace. No, they actually won't keep the peace. They'll just, move. It is a bit of a risk, though, leaving them there. But we're going to build a temple to the gods so they can distract themselves with that. Now, Bosphorus over here. Let's see if there's anything that's specific they might need to do. Let's increase the glassmaker, because that'll give us more money in the end. And maybe the port. Yeah, I don't like that. Ooh, no, I don't like that either. It's too much. Too much. Alright, let's live with that. I said one more turn, right? Oh well. I'll do the same thing I did that other part where I stopped at the change. So I'll start over once the turn had actually started. So we don't have to worry about that too much. So that'll be fantastic. What is Antony going to do? Other than attack Jerusalem and not attack Jerusalem. Is he going to subvert my fucking army? What a piece of shit. God, I hate bullshit like that, because it's not even like real fighting. He's just, oh, I'm gonna pick apart your fucking army, I'm gonna be a piece of shit about it. Like, it's so annoying. See, that's why I just want to kill him. Because there he is, he's gonna do that bullshit over and over and over. And it's smart in the sense of like, yeah, he's subverting my army, he's attacking there. But like, is he really achieving anything? No, he isn't. Like, all I need to do is move that army back into a city. Yes, it is going to affect me. It is bad, but it's not like the biggest fucking deal. Ooh, now his army is weak outside Jerusalem. I might actually attack it. That's actually not a bad idea. Let's think about that. Let's actually attack the army outside Jerusalem now. Because if he's going to be a piece of shit about it. No, Numidia. Stop, Numidia. What is Pontus going to do? Pontus is again reinforcing their areas. I understand. See, I respect Pontus way more than I respect Antony. This fucking bullshit about like putting little piece of shit agents is stupid. And let's see what happens here. Yeah, I saw the subversion, believe me. Alright. He's still reinforcing the city, so who cares? And Antony is going to march on that way, huh? Let's move this army to Dura. And let's technically tell this army, even though they're not in a position to do anything. Oh no, they are in a position to do anything, to go to Hatra. Let's take Sestipion, or whatever the fuck this shit is. Cephion. Whatever the fuck it's called, let's take it. So now it's back under our control. I mean, it's Rome, so I don't think it's going to be a problem, like, in terms of management. But let's check it out. Yeah, it's fine. Actually, if anything, we kind of fucked it up more. Alright. So that's back under our control. Hatra's back under our control. But this I'm not happy about. I don't know what we're going to do about that specifically. We could make a new army, but frankly, I'm starting to think that we have too many armies in that area. But then again, would it hurt? We have been thinking about making a new army anyway. And by we, I mean me. So the army at Phasis is going to move towards Mesquita. And then this army, can it attack Saracina? Yeah, it can. So this one will take Saracina, while the other one advances forward to the next deployment. Not deployment, but the next area. So like over here. Because this one could have taken Saracina too, but that's not the point. Let's move it this way. Ooh, there's a big army waiting for us. Not a big army, but like a big-ish army waiting for us. So let's actually march many units over this way to protect us. Hmm. Judging by the amount of money we have coming in, I don't think it would be too much to ask to build a new army. So let's go to Thapsus. Can we build a good army in Thapsus? Probably can. Although we have the army in Dura, why not use it? Let's attack the army in Dura, and while we're there, build an army again in Dura. So let's see, we have other houses, whatever. Reinstate the legacy of the Legio to Minervia. Alright. I need cavalry first. Alright, done. We'll worry about the rest later. Is this still the same video? This is still the same video. Okay, actually, let's conclude here before we end the turn. Alright. So, long story short, we're still now fighting these people in the Luigi or Lugii or whatever the fuck this shit area is. We're still in the middle of a war with Pontus, but Pontus doesn't have that many zones left. So, once we kill this army, I feel like we'll be able to diverge. One over here, one over there, one over here, and then we'll take this zone over, and Pontus will be out of here. Once Pontus out of the way, we can worry about other things, like for example, Antony has now dispatched an army dead in the middle of our territory, and it doesn't make me happy. So we'll definitely be taking that over as soon as possible. In the meantime, we're also building yet another army to protect us from the Kadiri here, who constantly are just watching us. But once Gaius Octavius' army recovers, we're actually going to move it down over back to Charax, because really, Antony, our main target, the entire reason we're playing this campaign, only has those zones left, and we need to take him over as soon as possible. Until next time, I am Lews Therin, and I hope you have enjoyed yourself. I hope you have enjoyed this return to Rome. For me, it's not a return because I've been playing, the same campaign over and over, but for you, this is a return to Rome. So in any case, you have a good one. Enjoy yourself.